through his heart was short-lived and had his lips pulling back over his teeth. Fucking bitch. She'd made him halfway human. Who knew if he'd ever be wholly untouchable again? "Stay where you are," he ordered Carson. At least he sounded like a ruthless bastard. "This part is my problem. I'll handle it. I just want you here in case something goes wrong." "But," Carson began. Biting off the objection, he finished with a grim, "Yes, sir." She wore a long, flowy dress that wound around her legs in the tropical breeze, deep purple and no wrap to cover her bare arms. Her black hair, half up, half down, fell around her shoulders in a mass of soft curls. For a moment he clenched his fingers. He had to claw his way through the red haze that enveloped his mind in order to return to a calm state. Lack of control would screw up his plans more certainly than any external force. She was here, and so was he. The situation was perfect. He waited until she reached the rail and stood gazing at the sea before he stepped out of the shadows. "Rowena." He called her name softly. By distant lamplight, he had the satisfaction of seeing her startled expression as she spun to face him. "James? What?" She composed herself quickly, gripping the wooden rail behind her. "You followed me." He walked toward her, slowly and with intent. "Did you think I wouldn't?" "Hoped," she replied. "I hoped you'd give me the space I asked for." "I hoped you'd be loving and faithful to me. Apparently, we're both doomed to disappointment." She couldn't see his face. No one could. He always wore a hat with a brim broad enough to hide his features. If the custom stemmed from a lingering shred of vanity present prior to the time when he'd been brutally scarred, he refused to acknowledge the fact. Mystery was paramount in his opinion. The more, the better. He had it in spades, and fully intended to keep both his personal and business affairs shrouded in it. "You betrayed me, Rowena." He continued to advance on her. "You used your expertise, your prowess with computers, to infiltrate my private files. I swear to God I never thought you'd do that. You always seemed so disinterested in my work." And he'd gone to great lengths to protect the less ethical aspects of his life. Hell, he'd been duping the IRS and the Treasury Department for years. Or, if not duping, at least making it impossible for them to find any real evidence they could use against him. "I thought you were a legitimate business person, James. What I did is nothing compared to some of the hideous crimes you've committed." He formed his lips into a smile. "So, no attempt to beg for forgiveness or claim your actions were the result of temporary insanity. No desperate promise to forget everything you've learned. Where's McCabe?" He snapped sharply and out of the blue. "I don't know." "Fuck that. And you always know where he is. You were screwing him before you met me. Remember?" "I knew him before I knew you, but you've known that from the start. So why the sudden outrage? McCabe and I didn't plot together to set you up, if that's what you're thinking." He couldn't contain the growl that crawled into his throat. The merengue music grew louder, matching the beat of his thundering heart. "I'd have done anything for you, Rowena." Tossing his cigar aside, he reached into the pocket of his vest and pulled out a magnum, his best and favorite weapon. With the silencer attached to the tip, he pointed it at her. "I loved you, you bitch. Now I'm going to kill you and take our son. You can take that to the grave." He spaced the words for effect. "I'm going to take our son." Fury overwhelmed him. Words failed as the red haze slithered back in and got a stranglehold on his mind. He registered the glitter of panic in her eyes before he bared his teeth and squeezed the trigger. Twice, as was his habit. The breeze kicked up. He saw blood pool in the center of her chest, 2 splotches of it. Pushing upright, she swayed where she stood. Then she closed her eyes and fell backward into the rail. He heard it crack. The sound of rending wood echoed in his brain. A second later, she was gone, tumbling off the pier and into the water below. Shit. Carson leaped to his feet, joined him. "I'll get her, sir." Mockery walked to another section of the rail. He tested it for strength, found it wobbly and insubstantial. While Carson ran down the stairs, he returned to the spot where Rowena had stood and, crouching, rubbed his fingers over the blood that had dripped onto the pier.